So what's happening right now just after 10 o'clock on the first day of the new year? We are seeing a lot of snow extending from I-19. Please be extra careful if you're on Tucson's north side, Oro Valley. If you run into some ponding water, just turn around. That's the safest thing to do always. Severe thunderstorm warning still for Tombstone. A lot of lightning with this. This is racing off to the west.
Did I tell you at 6 o'clock we're going to have a snowstorm tonight in the city of Tucson? I think I did. And here's the snowstorm. All right, all jokes aside, no. They're making bacon. There they go. I'm not sure who won. I'm not sure it matters who won. But it's fun, John. And hey, as you mentioned, the weather's also nice. That's a benefit too. Full forecast. We'll see you back here in just a few minutes.
Hello and welcome to our live webcast special Forewarn Monsoon 2017. I'm Chief Meteorologist Matt Brode. Portal 7 inches of snow. 6 inches, half a foot in Nogales, Vail 5 inches, Corona de Tucson somewhere between that 4 and 5 as well, Mount Lemmon 4.2 and
one horse open sleigh. Bravo! All right, Merry Christmas! All right, 5770 East Pima, come down, get a tree, and listen to the Tucson Boys Chorus. Got your forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Oh! I don't need a prize, but thank you so much.
Yeah, okay.
I told you overall, you got nothing on me, but all right, let's do this. 8 seconds. There we go. Woo! Woo! Oh, you didn't do this in the practice run. All right, so we're doing all right here. We had 8 seconds yet, Zach? Oh, it's getting a little bit tougher. It's getting tougher, and I'm holding it with the microphone, so I'm doing this one-handed. Never know what's around these corners here. Okay, I will get out. Can I get out that way, please? I gotta do some weather reporting here. I remember this guy. He's the butcher, right? Hey, careful, man. I got a corn stalk right here, piggy man, butcher, whatever.
all right, we're going to get that storm alert at extreme, courtesy of flash flood warning still active and a new severe thunderstorm warning. But most of the area of Tucson now starting to dry up a little bit. We got some dramatic video earlier from Brandon Flowers on the east side of town. Check this out. He took this. That's his grill. Oh, no.
That's bad.
That's real bad. That's in his pool. And as John was just mentioning, we don't know for a fact, but maybe he had a propane bottle in that. And if that's the case, well, boy, that's heavy. I think I saw the propane bottle on the side there. Yeah. But either way,
Might have been an extra.
Yeah, I'm glad you were safe, Brandon, but thanks for sending that in to us. More sort of historic rain coming as well. 1.37 inches today at Tucson International Airport. That puts us up to 5.92 inches of rain for July. That's also our monsoon total because remember, we didn't get any monsoon rain during the month of June. This fresh off the press today, third wettest July on record. And now this just came out, the wettest monsoon to date on record, since records have been kept. Yeah, and we still have a couple more months. Here's the top 5 wettest spots that we did see today on this very wet Friday. Country Club at Ajo, over 2.5 inches of rain. Houghton, Tanque Verde, 1 3/4. Over an inch at TIA, as I mentioned. Ina and First, 1.26. And Oro Valley, over an inch. And that's precisely why we still have the residual effects of these flash flood warnings. I think the one for the south side of Tucson should probably allow to expire in 15 minutes. Might have to hold out to about 7:45. So please be extra careful if you're on Tucson's north side, Oro Valley. If you run into some ponding water, just turn around. That's the safest thing to do always. Severe thunderstorm warning still for Tombstone. A lot of lightning with this. This is racing off to the west. Biggest threats with this could be some 60-mile-per-hour winds and also some small hail. Back into Tucson, most of the action now up in Marana. So the biggest areas we're watching now are in sections of Cochise County and then just west of Tucson. And we do also have a flood advisory for much of Cochise County as well. Let's see what's happening as we go to our high-resolution rapid refresh model. Looks like the day is done. If you're still seeing storms, once they sort of exit, I think we're pretty much in the clear for the remainder of the night. This is 3 a.m., maybe some light showers, but overall, we'll have to wait till tomorrow, which I think could be another pretty big day of weather here across the desert Southwest. Gorgeous shot. This is River and La Cholla, 78. Now skies are turned sunny at the airport, believe it or not. Temperature is 70, and look at that. It's 84 Marana. It's 78 in Tucson at the airport, and we have temperatures into the 60s in places like Bisbee. All right, let's go to that forecast then. Looks like this. 50% chance of storms tomorrow. Some could be again on the strong to severe side. 40% chance on Sunday. 30 Monday and Tuesday, and finally winding things down Thursday and Friday, but all 7 days below 100 with good chances of storms. Paul Cicala. All right, we're going to keep that storm alert at extreme. I think some of those floodwaters are coming down, receding, but some of those overpasses it can take hours, as you saw Angelique reporting.
Yep.
But for the wow factor of the day, just put this on social media as well. Get this, in the past 7 days, Mount Lemmon has picked up 7.56 inches of rain. Wow,
that's
so you do
a lot.
the cursory math there. I mean, right there, it's over an inch a day, right? So that's pretty substantial. Certainly great for, well, anything that we look forward to in terms of the monsoon. All right, this is also kind of cool. It's our time lapse, 3:10 this afternoon. On the very left-hand corner of your screen, you can sort of see the end of the Catalina Mountains. I pointed it in that direction because we were tracking a storm that developed and just kind of unleashed a wall of water. Right over here, we took a power hit, and you can see we took that power hit right at 3:40, and that Skycam's still kind of we're working on it to get it back up and running. All right, Mount Lemmon today, 2.28 inches. University of Arizona, over 1 1/3 inches. Better than an inch at Reed Park, right here at our studios. Just about an inch in Marana, about 2/3 of an inch of rain. So good soaking rain across mostly the city of Tucson this Wednesday afternoon. 6:45 is how long this flash flood warning will stick around for the northwest side of town. That includes places like Picture Rocks and Marana. And we also have a flash flood warning until 6:30. Now this has just popped up. I haven't seen this till now. You see Safford, eastern sections of Cochise County, southern Graham, Greenlee County. That's a blowing dust advisory. Remember I said there could be more on the way, and we're watching what we call an outflow boundary or storms in New Mexico. Ahead of those storms, gusty winds could pick up some of that dust. Meanwhile, central Pima County is seeing the best storms right now. As we zoom out a little bit, Nogales, you're seeing some storms not too far away. And this is that outflow boundary cruising into eastern sections of Cochise County as we speak. And that could be with us a little bit later. Now, as far as how far west does it go, I don't think the computer models put it into the city of Tucson. We're kind of tapped out. High pressure located east of the Four Corners now, but what we're watching today is this little disturbance near El Paso that's working from east to west, and that's going to pick up our showers as well. That did pick up our showers. Here's our latest forecast tools, and check it out. 9 o'clock, we see some of those storms firing up into Cochise, southern Graham, and Greenlee County, but notice it stays dry mostly for the city of Tucson, and that's courtesy of really the fact that we've just been pretty overworked here over the last couple of days. And then we really start to dry things out overnight, and then better chance of storms again tomorrow, believe it or not. It is 83 at Tucson International Airport, 67 is the dew point, and that puts our winds out of the north-northeast at 8 miles per hour. 74 Sierra Vista, 75 Nogales, and 76 up in Marana. The plan then for tomorrow does call for 90s again, with a good chance of those afternoon thunderstorms. 7-day forecasts between a 30 to 50% chance of storms all the way through Monday, maybe quieting things down by Tuesday or Wednesday or so. And back in the saddle for the first time in quite some time, Mr. Paul Cicala.
Gate Square, where this party's already kicking off, right, Matt?
3, 2, 1, there's the party. They just kicked it off. Before we went to break, I did tell you that I got a little bit snubbed by our two favorite felines, Wilbur and Wilma. I like John's philosophy. Wilbur didn't see me. I went to high-five him. He didn't see me, but maybe it's because Wilbur and Wilma were just competing for something right now. Not exactly sure who won that competition, but that's what they're doing here. They're playing some games out here, having a good time, still with that pseudo-Halloween theme, of course, just being the first day of November. But you got to know about the weather and the game tomorrow on your Friday night. Kickoff will be at 7:30 and we'll be mostly clear, but a little bit chilly again, mid-60s. By the second half, we'll talk about temperatures in the upper 50s to near 60. High temp today in Tucson, 73, so that puts us a good 6 degrees below average. So we begin the month of November now below average. That trend will not stick around too long, as we do have a pretty strong area of high pressure. Not too strong, but high enough to keep us just slightly above average for this time of year. Live look outside at 67 degrees, dew points 28, northwest winds 5, so light winds, dry conditions, and clear skies does make the recipe for a pretty cool night again of weather. Mostly into the 60s across greater Tucson at the 6 o'clock hour. Let's see what's happening down with our good neighbors down in Cochise and Santa Cruz County. And for most of you, your tracking temps already into the 50s as well, so it shouldn't be too long before those locales dip into the 40s. We dip into the 50s by about 10 o'clock or so. Maybe even upper 50s sooner than that. So if you are out here, Main Gate Square, after the pep rally concludes, maybe just at a restaurant or two, make sure to grab that light jacket. You'll need it. High pressure sits off the western states, and it's not going to nudge too far. Farther east it goes, warmer we are. farther west it goes, the cooler we are. So we're going to move it a little bit to the east, and that will warm our daytime temperatures up back to about average this time of year. Keep in mind the average high for today is 79, so anywhere north of 80 is slightly above average, but let's just keep those 90s away, and I think we'll be doing okay. There's that area of cool air, a little pocket that shifts off to the east, and that high pressure tries to consolidate itself a little bit closer to Arizona. Not too much closer, though, so that does mean we will just keep things a little bit above average for this time of year. Football Friday tomorrow. The Fever's out here tonight for sure. Upper 40s to get your day kicked off tomorrow, 49 at 7 a.m. Lunchtime, 74. Around that area of high pressure, we could see a couple high clouds or two. Overall, though, daytime highs right around 80. We'll call it 79 here for the city of Tucson. Turning a little breezy on Saturday, 80. A couple disturbances try to form around that high pressure, but it's a strong high, so nothing more than breezes by Saturday and Monday. Daytime highs into the upper 70s to lower 80s, all the while those nighttime lows in the upper 40s to the lower 50s. All right, so back out here live, they're saying give it up to the pride of Arizona. The party has begun. As you can see, a lot of fans, a lot of people, a lot of spectators, and a little bit of a chill in the air too. Once again, I put the old fleece on. Believe this is now the first live shot, maybe second this year, that I've had the fleece on. So feeling a lot like fall, feeling a lot like football, feeling a lot like a Wildcat win tomorrow, hopefully, and we'll send it back to you.
"74 years ago, as World War II neared its end, Adolfo Harpo Celaya, a scrappy Mexican-American teenager from Florence, Arizona, wanted to join the Navy.
They had big signs there, join the Navy and see the world and all that stuff, with beautiful girls on it.
The only catch, too young. He needed his father's permission.
I wanted him to sign for me to go into the Navy.
Harpo's wish was granted. He found himself in boot camp. Before long, he was shipping out on the USS Indianapolis.
They took us down to go over and see the ship, and I looked at that thing, and I almost ran all the way back to Florence. I mean, it was big.
Harpo settled in the Indy, but it wasn't smooth sailing.
So they would pick on me and say, why didn't I go back to Mexico where I came from?
Harpo fought back, sometimes getting physical. The Indy engaged in the bloody battles of Iwo Jima and Okinawa. Harpo witnessed, but was not impressed, by what would become one of the most iconic images of the entire war.
I took the binoculars and handed back to big deal, I said, and I took off.
In 1945, Japanese kamikazes slammed into the bow of the Indy.
It killed 9 men at that time, yeah.
That moment, the harsh reality of war sunk in.
And that's when I first knew that I wasn't gonna go to see them girls. And
On a hot summer night in 1945, a Japanese submarine spotted the Indianapolis, launching 2 torpedoes.
it blew the whole bow. And the second one hit in the middle, right where I was at.
Fire engulfed the ship. Within 12 minutes, the USS Indianapolis sunk.
I could hear him hollering, I'm on fire, stuff like that.
Hardly able to see while escaping, fate took over. He ran into his friend Santos Peña. The two jumped ship.
Where did you guys jump off?
Right here.
He says he landed hard in the water, injuring his knees, thinking he might have killed his friend Santos. Harpo joined hundreds of fellow sailors, floating like buoys in the sea for days. But the world would soon learn of perhaps the deadliest shark attack in history.
We were quiet, and all of a sudden, the scream came up, and everybody could hear it. And that scream gets to you. I mean,
Through it all, Harpo never lost a sense of humor, joking he was spared because sharks didn't like, quote, dark meat. But after several days floating at sea, he says, men became delirious.
They were drinking salt water and all that. They would attack you. They would pick fights with you.
While caring for his ailing chief, Harpo heard men speaking Spanish.
I thought I was going crazy.
Harpo swam to the sound and found Santos alive, But when he returned to his chief, he was too late. He was floating away too weak to survive.
I've thought about it every night since it happened. It never has gotten away from me. And I wish I could get it away from me sometime.
Upon rescue, Harpo was not treated as an injured hero. In fact, he was disciplined, singled out day after day when asked to be excused from duty due to his sustained injuries. What he still thinks to this day was because of his dark skin.
It's bothered me more than anything else. Because I had a rough time when I was in there. They put me into a little cage and stuff like that.
So you felt like a prisoner.
Yeah.
After serving your country, delivering the parts of the bomb, surviving in the water for 5 days, 5 nights, you're punished.
Yeah.
No surprise, to this day, Harpo avoids baths and beaches. He went on to run a successful business, often helping people in need, but returning to Tucson after the war, well, he suffered from PTSD and numbed his pain with alcohol. Then a visit from his high school principal would set Harpo on an unusual and improbable athletic course, one which just may have saved his life. Paul Cicala continues his story in A Man of Courage, Part 2, Monday night at 6.